right. Half right. Hurry up.
Oh, right or left?
Idiots.
Really? Is it?
Yeah.
Gomez. Gomez, get back here. Hey, Gomez. Come on. Hey, Flores, come on. Hey, Flores. Flores.
I'm trying to get Gomez back.
Hey, I don't give a shit. He might as well not be on the team. He don't do shit. I scored half right. Get your distance from me.
Oh, you guys can serious now. You guys are boring.
Stop being stupid, Flores.
Playing.
To the rear, to the rear, to the rear.
My what?
This is going on Facebook. Damn it, Gomez.
Damn it, Gomez. We're fucking close to each other. Oh, God. Hey, we're so fucking close to each other. Let's keep moving fast, Davila.
Yeah, but not painful.
Hey, what the fuck? More distance. More. What are you doing? Fuck this, I'm going back. Ready? Hey, it's on me. It's about to
Teachers recital, the dance recital, the ballroom recital, and we'll all be taking place in the auditorium. And also we have our senior school
What the hell are you doing? It's called the sequence.